Tuesday, October 19th. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome.
I'm Emily Redenbaugh. Mr. Man in Blue is Ryan Avery.
I feel like I'm running for office. I'm like, hello. I'm like, hi, welcome. Yeah. I wanted to dress like a psychologist today, and this is to me what a psychologist looks like. So
I like it. Welcome, everyone. How's your week been?
Your week has been good, Miss Harvest.
Yes. So I did not gain a new accent of a Southern accent if you all joined us last week.
Also, so you know, when I talk about you to other people, I use a Southern accent.
Only in regards to the farming or in general?
To be fair, I do that for everyone. Like my mom and dad talk like this too. Like when I tell my mom and dad do not talk like that, but that's how.
Okay, Larry just called me out.
She said y'all. Thank you, Larry. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm curious to know your answer to this question, though, Emily. Hey, y'all. It should be all y'all, but that's okay.
Okay, it's just my comfy pillow. Oh my goodness. Welcome, everyone. For those of you who may be new to Tuesday Takeaways, again, I feel like I need to apologize for the madness that you may have jumped into. We appreciate that you're here. All right, we've got our question of the week. And again, if in the chat pod, if you could make it to everyone, we appreciate we can engage with each other. Would you take a job you hate if it paid $647,000 per year? Interesting number. Is there a reason for
that? Well, I was gonna do like $500,000, and then I was gonna do like, and I was like, let's pick like a number that's like big enough that would make people be like, ooh, that's a lot of money. But then also like, is there something there? Like if you hate it, Lee says yes. Like, have you ever had a job you hate? Like, have you ever had a job you hate?
Yes.
I don't know if I could. I say no. I say no for me.
I can't.
Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, because I've had a job that I hate. I've had several actually, but there's one that I've had that, oof, if they had to pay me $647,000 to that job again, I'd probably be like, and trust me, I get it. That's some money. That is some money. But man,
Mitch, I had the same thought. If I would only have to do it for a year, maybe I would and then bank it. But I don't know. Yeah, I remember a job.
But then that's what got me thinking, like, wasting a year. Yes. Like wasting a whole year to do that. I'm like, oh gosh, no. I say no. Say no. So you're no too, Emily?
Yeah, I think no.
Yeah. I thought people would say that. Like Alan, like take it for a while, then cash out and recover. But then I'm like, man, what do you miss out on? You know? Ugh.
But then Michael there's lessons to be learned in doing things you hate. You're right, but
yeah.
I have to tell you the thing I discovered that was hidden last week. I want to play my flute again.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That is, are you like, can you play it?
Yes. So I actually have a degree in music management. So I had a minor in music, played flute.
Who knew that? I didn't know that.
So, and I think I got burned out, right? It was constant and we'll be done with it. And I know exactly where it is and I pull it out sometimes. And my flute was the thing that, you know, when you hear when I was in my 20s, the thing you'd read back into the house in a fire for, that was my flute. So it is my baby. It was my baby until I had real babies. But yeah, I think I want to play the flute again.
I love that, Emily.
Simple
love that.
But yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's track my progress, everyone. Help me out with that.
Yeah. Maybe you could play it for us when you do your Tuesday takeaway.
No, no. You already, you know, that just happened.
Who wants to hear Emily play the flute, everyone? Who wants to hear Emily play the flute? Put it in the chat box. If we get enough yet, look at that. You got to do it now. You got to do it. You can't do that to the motivators and then look at all the yeses. Thank you, everyone. We'll be playing the flute on Tuesday. Look at me. Thank you, everyone, for backing me up. I appreciate y'all.
Discover. This is the month of Discover. Discover my revenge this next week.
I love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Avery.
Hello, my fellow motivators. This month, like Emily said, the theme is discover. And this week, I'm going to talk about discovering our purpose. Now, many of you have heard me talk about my thoughts on purpose and the difference between passion and purpose. And today, what I want to do is I want to share those similar thoughts again. So even if you've heard it, I believe we can talk about it again. I would like to give you strategies, new strategies. I would like to give you new thoughts and new questions around things in my life that have created purpose in my life. So to recap, my belief is that we should stop being passionate and we start being purpose driven. Now, some people hear this and they get offended. I'm not trying to offend anyone. Here's the definition of passion. Passion, by definition, is a barely controllable emotion. All right. So do you really want to be around passionate people? I don't. Do you really want to be a passionate person? I don't. I have like 800 emotions a day. I do not want to be passionate. Okay. What I want to be is I want to be purpose driven. And by definition, the word means the reason for which it is done. The reason for which it is done. And today I want to share with you how we can find those reasons for what it is that we do. In fact, the word passion, by the way, it stems from the Latin word passior, which means to suffer. Okay, so like one of my strongest beliefs is one of the reasons why many people are unhappy is because they've been fed this lie to be passionate when in fact it's supposed to be purpose driven. You see, here's the thing. When we follow our passions, that means we follow our emotions, and emotions are always changing. So we won't really feel grounded, but purpose is rooted in meaning. And when we follow our purpose, we have meaning in our life. And so that's what I want to talk about today. Now, I'm bringing this up because I have talked to a lot of groups. I have talked to friends. I have communicated this a lot lately. And so I want to revisit this subject of work-life balance. Okay. I don't like work-life balance, as many of you know. I use the term work-life blend. Okay. Because when we're balanced, that means sometimes we can be unbalanced or something is off. And so I want to talk about how we can blend things in our life. And I do that using what I call the 3 Ps of the day. Okay. And so how I make sure that I blend my life is I look at my personal life, I look at my professional life, and I look at my partnerships. All right, so personally, professionally, and partnerships. Today, what I'd like to do is I'd like to give you a question, a strategy, and a quote in each one of those sections that can help us discover our purpose this week. The first one comes from another Ryan. His name is Ryan Holiday, which I highly recommend you read any of his books. My favorite is Ego is the Enemy. But there's one question that Ryan gave me that I've been thinking a lot about, especially in 2020. And you know, most of us as leaders, most of us as motivators, the question that we ask ourselves is, what do we want to do? What do we want to do this year? What do we want to do in life? What do we want to do in business? And there have been multiple times in my life that I have accomplished things, big things, and afterwards I have felt empty afterwards. And I never understood that until I read Ego is the Enemy by Ryan Holiday. And he said, the question we should stop asking ourselves, what do we want to do? And the question we should be asking ourselves is, who do we want to be? Who do we want to be? And when we ask ourselves that question, like, I want to be happy. I want to be healthy. I want to be the speaker. I want to be the dad. And here's what happens. It allowed me to understand what I should be doing then. And then more importantly, it showed me what I should stop doing because it was taking me away from being those things. Who do you want to be? Ask yourself that will help you discover your purpose. Now, one way that you can do this too, I did this a while ago and I revisited it before. One of my mentors actually made me write my own obituary one day. And I thought it was really morbid, but it was actually very freeing because it really showed me what I wanted to include in my life. And so one of the challenges that I would ask, I even remember it was up on my computer and my mom found it one day and she was like, what is this, Ryan? And I was like, oh my gosh, stop, like it's fine. And she was like, I don't like reading these things. And I agree, it is hard. But it really gets you in a point of your life of really discovering your purpose, like what's important to you, what's not important to you, what do you want those things to say in your obituary? Here's what I'd like to say. And in fact, if you take nothing else away from me today, this is the big one that I want you to take away from me. Don't let your passions take you away from your purpose. Don't let your passions take you away from your purpose. I have seen too many people follow a feeling and it be fleeting, and the purpose is on the table, but they never go after it. And yet they don't feel as satisfied as I believe they should. I've done this myself. I have let go of my purpose because there's things that I'm passionate about. Don't let your passions take you away from your purpose. Professionally, how do we find that purpose professionally? Well, my dad taught me 3 questions as a kid, and I shared these with you before, but it's important to bring these back up again. And the 3 questions we should be asking ourselves to find that professional purpose is, does my job excite me? Does my job challenge me? Does my job add value to the world? Okay. Does my job excite me? Does my job challenge me? Does my job add value to the world? And you want to be able to answer yes to all 3 of those. Okay. We've had jobs, all of us probably have had jobs that might excite you, but they don't challenge you anymore. So you feel bored. We even know people who have a lot of money, but they're still unhappy. Well, it's because they're not feeling challenged anymore. The same can go for the opposite side. You might be adding a lot of value, but it's not exciting you or challenging you. You want to make sure you have all 3. So the strategy here is I want you to picture you get invited to speak at a very big conference in the next 10 years. So 10 years from now, you get asked to be the keynote speaker at this conference. What do you want your bio to say when they introduce you? Write out that bio, write out that introduction in 10 years from now and see what is included in it. See what you've done, see what you've accomplished. Have you gone and got your doctorate or your master's? Have you gone and accomplished things or won things or started a family? Or what are the things that are important for you to be included into that bio? One of my strongest beliefs is you can do anything as long as you pick something. You know, we've been told our lives that you can do anything, you can do anything. But what happens is too many people try so many things that they never amount to anything. You can do anything. I am here to tell you that you can do anything. You have to pick something though. Yes, you can try things, and yes, you can explore things, and yes, you can see what works, but there ultimately has to be a time when you pick something so you can do that thing that you want to do. Ask yourself this question. My buddy and I did this recently. Where would yourself 5 years ago think about you today? Where would yourself 5 years ago think about yourself today? My 5-year-old self would be pretty proud of me, but sometimes I'm really hard on myself. Sometimes I'm like, am I following my purpose? And 5 years ago, if I saw myself today 5 years ago, I'd be freaking out. And it reminds me of this concept of thinking about that. And maybe not, maybe for you, you'd be disappointed. Maybe you'd be grateful. Maybe you'd feel happy. Well, how would you feel? And what are things that need to change because of that? Partnerships. In partnerships, what we want to look at and the question we want to ask ourselves is, what energy do I want in my life? What energy do I want in my life? And it can be any, do you want good energy? Do you want pumped up energy? Do you want relaxed energy? And making sure those partners are giving you that energy. It's okay to ask for that energy as well. Okay, there might be some things that we're throwing off because we're not getting that type of energy that we want. So what type of energy are we getting? There's a strategy that I've been doing for years now. Some people think I'm crazy at doing it, but it works and I like it and it's fun for me. So the strategy that I recommend you do is in your phone, put a few people in your phone within the contact section of friends you want to be friends with one day. People you want to know, people you want to have in your phone. You might not have their phone number yet, but you put their name in your contacts. And the reason why is when you scroll through your phone, sometimes you'll see that number and it gets you excited and you think, oh, wow, I need to be partners with this. So you scroll through, you're like Michelle Obama, or you're like Oprah, or you're like Seth Godin. This happened to me. I'm sitting in an audience, I'm speaking to an audience, and I'm talking about this guy named Seth Godin, who I very much look up to, highly recommend The Purple Cow from Seth Godin. He's like the guy in marketing. And I'm talking about him, and I don't realize that his sister is in the audience, and his sister comes up to me and we talk and we have a conversation. And after that, Seth sent me this is one of Seth's books, which is ridiculous, right? But Seth sent me this book, and when I got this book, it like blew me away. And he wrote me a letter, and he, simply said like, keep making a ruckus, I'm thinking of you. And he sent me this book because I talked about the energy that I want. I'm around the people that I want. There's some people who are still hanging out with people who are draining you, who are taking you away from your purpose, who might be allowing you to follow your passions, but they're taking you away from what it is that you're supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be speaking. So hanging around people like that allow me to do a better job of my purpose. Here's what I want to say with partnerships. Partnerships that share purpose outlast partnerships rooted in passion. Partnerships that share purpose outlast partnerships rooted in passion. Check your partnerships. Are they purpose-based or are they passionately based? So here's how I make sure that my life is blended. Okay, in fact, that's how I break out my day. My mornings are personal, my afternoons are professional, and my evenings are partnership-based. It's how I make sure that my purpose is being lived. And it's how that I make sure that I am going after the things that I want in life. So are you following your passions or are you following your purpose? Ask yourself, who do you want to be by writing your own obituary? Don't let your passions take you away from your purpose. Ask yourself what excites me, what challenges me, what adds value in your professional world by writing your introduction in the next 10 years. Because remember, you can do anything as long as you pick something. And ask yourself what type of energy you want to do and put the people in your phone that you want to be friends with, because partnerships that share purpose outlast partnerships rooted in passion. This week's Tuesday takeaway is to remind yourself to discover your purpose. Discover your purpose and take time to do that. And reminder, don't live a life, live the life. I'll talk to you all next week, everybody. Bye.
All right, we have a couple minutes before 15 minutes. I bet you know people that you will add to your contacts. Put them in the chat pod. I want to see who you want to put in your contacts of who you will be friends with in the future. Let's find that energy. I want to see the variety of you. I like the Ryan Avery. Oh, hey.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Maxine Waters. I'm going to read them.
I got Oprah on my list. Myself. Good for you.
Tom Brady.
Oh, good. Maxine Waters. Y'all, you can put somebody else besides me. Hoda, Joel Osteen.
These are good.
Several poets and writers. Oh, these are good. Yeah, I like that.
Maya Angelou is one of mine. Unfortunately, listen, I've told you this story before, I think in a Tuesday takeaway, but I was scheduled to see her and she passed 5 days before that event.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that would be one, just her angel spirit, maybe. I like these answers. Stephen King. Who else? Let us know who is going to be in your contacts. I thought this would be Bahamas. That would be fun. I'd love to hang out with them. I've always said hang out with Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon one night. Those two.
I mean, we're the Justin Timberlake and Tim Fallon of Tuesday Takeaway.
Yeah,
okay?
You're gonna make me sing a ditty sometime, aren't you?
Oh no, I'm not gonna make you sing. I'm gonna make you play that flute that you know how to play. Yes, and we all saw it. There was everybody saying yes.
Oh, I think that chat part was deleted. Oh, shucky darn.
Well, good news. I have screenshotted it. Thank you. I just screenshotted it. Oh, wow, there are a lot of them. I screenshot them all. Thank you.
Crazy. Once again, we appreciate the time you spend with us. It's insane as it may be. But love spending time with you on Tuesdays. We will see you next week. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.